here. We are back for another week of Read Along with Alane, and we are reading from my favorite book, The Blue Witch, right? And each week, I'm trying to do a theme for the week in terms of what I'm wearing. So this week, guess what? We're going to be representing our favorite sports teams. So guys, if you have a favorite jersey that you want to wear while you're listening, go on, press pause, and run and get it, all right? Now today, I'm wearing a jersey from my favorite football team, the Kansas City Chiefs. Woo! Super Bowl winners last year. So, all right, I hope you guys have your favorite jerseys on now. We're going to be picking up today with chapter 10. We left off chapter 9 where Indira had a meeting with her mother, and her mother gave her this sort of mysterious spell book we don't know anything about yet, but we'll probably learn more about it, right? And what else? Oh, before that, Abigail had snuck out of her room, remember? And she was off going through the gardens. All of a sudden, she was stuck between Melistra and Dindera, and we don't know where she went to, all right? So we're going to pick up chapter 10, and this is going to be told from Hugo's point of view. Hugo waited in the branches of the jukeberry tree. For the third day in a row, Abigail hadn't shown, which meant either she didn't want to see him anymore, or something bad had happened. What if she had been thrown into the dungeons for using her blue magic? Hugo swallowed back dread as he clutched the limb. He had heard stories about the Wraithos that lived down there, fiendish rodents the size of large house cats. Please, Abigail, he whispered, just give me a sign that you're okay. I'm right here, silly. Hugo was so surprised to hear Abigail's voice, he nearly fell out of the tree. He turned to find her standing on top of the wall behind him. How did you get up there? He asked. I climbed a mulberry tree. She stepped onto the branch and carefully made her way over to Hugo, plopping down next to him. I've been in detention all week, but I snuck out to meet you. As I was heading through the gardens, I nearly ran into Indira and her mother, Melistra. And I hid in the tree and listened in. Melistra gave Indira a spellbook and told her to get rid of me. And then she said my mother was a traitor. She shook her head, looking confused and frightened. Why would she say that? And what am I going to do about it? Hugo squeezed her arm. We need to get some answers. How long can you stay? Supper's not for 2 hours. Perfect. I know just who to talk to. Like every good scientist, Hugo had his sources, experts he could call on to answer questions. And the wisest person he knew was a sea captain named Jasper, who, if he was to be believed, was a son of Aegir, the sea god who lived under the sea with the mermaids and mermen. It was a quick walk from the Tarkana fortress to the seaport of Jadewick. They slipped in among the sailors and Balfin soldiers who paraded along the docks. Hugo spied Jasper's ship at the end of the wharf. It listed to one side as if it were slowly sinking. Ragged brown sails hung limply, looking as if a stiff wind would tear them to pieces. The old sailor sat on the deck, sharpening a fishing knife on a stone. Long grey hair fell to his waist in a tangled mess. A length of rope belted up his weathered canvas pants. His skin was leathery brown, but his blue eyes were sharp as he looked them over. Who's your friend, lad? Hello, Jasper. This is Abigail. May we come aboard? At his nod, they hopped onto the deck. Hugo took his journal out. What can you tell us about Blue Witchfire? The old sailor glanced around quickly. Fool! You don't say things like that in public! He stood, bending on knobby knees to open a hatch. Come below before you get us thrown into the Tarkana dungeons. The cabin was small and cramped. A pair of bunks took up one end, leaving just enough space for a rickety table and 2 benches. Jasper sat down and lit a small oil lamp. The flickering glow cast long shadows on the walls. "Tell me why you want to know," Jasper growled. His eyes looked a little wild in the light. Hugo's heart hammered loudly in his ears. "Well, we were just curious." Jasper leaned forward, driving the tip of his knife into the table. "You're lying to me, boy. Do it again and I will drop your body at sea so only the fishies know where you end up." "It was me," Abigail said quickly. "I used my magic to save Hugo from a Sneevil in the swamp." "And that awful beast," Hugo added. "That's right. Each time my witchfire was..." "Blue as the morning sky," Jasper breathed, his eyes glinting with excitement as he studied Abigail. "You must be Lysandra's child." Abigail frowned. "Lysandra? No, my mother was Penelope. She died a long time ago." "Who's Lysandra?" Hugo asked, writing her name down in his journal. "She was a witch I knew." Jasper leaned on his elbows, studying her face. "And I'd stake my life you're her child." Abigail bit her lip. "Old Nan's the one who told me her name was Penelope, but Madame Hystera had never heard of her. I overheard another witch say my mother was a traitor." Jasper nodded. "Lysandra was running away with her babe when she died." "Why? What happened?" Hugo asked. The sailor rubbed his chin. "I'll tell you what I know, but I'll be needing a favor first. I'm looking for a creature about this high." He put his hand to his waist. "Covered in green fur. Talkative fella. You find him for me and we'll talk." Hugo nudged Abigail and they got up and climbed the steps, but Jasper called after them. "You mentioned a beast. What did it look like?" Hugo turned. "Ugly as a Shankara, but much bigger. It had beefy shoulders covered in a thick mane and teeth that looked like they could chew through granite. Professor Oakes called it a Viking." Jasper paled, putting a hand on the table to steady himself. "Stay out of the swamps, both of you. Whatever you do, don't go back in there." Ooh, that's the end of chapter 10. Well, that was a really good chapter, if I do say so myself. So Hugo finally meets up with Abigail again. She had to climb a tree to hide from Lystra and Indira, but so she gets to overhear everything that went on. So she knows that Melistra called her mother a traitor, which she doesn't seem to like very much. I don't blame her. And they meet Jasper, who's a crusty old sailor. And what does Jasper tell them? What he knows? Something about, maybe about Abigail's mom. And he calls her Lysandra. And so he must know some things about her. But he's not going to tell them just right off the bat, easy peasy. He's going to make them do some work for him. And he's looking for a little green fella, a green fur. He's covered in green fur. He's only about this tall, talkative fella. And he wants them to find him. So I can't wait till they go on some more adventures to try to find this little green character. And now Jasper's a little worried about this Viking creature. I don't blame him. It was a pretty ugly, scary creature. So, all right, guys, that is it for chapter 10 for today. Come back tomorrow because we're going to have another read along with Alane for chapter 11, all right? And in the meantime, you guys know what you can do. click that download button and be doing the worksheets. That's super fun, and they give you something to do to get to know the book a little bit better and to be following along. You can always send them to my email address. It's on my webpage, my contact page. You can figure out how to reach me, send them to me, mail them to me, whatever you want to do. I'd love to see them and share them with other viewers, all right? So until tomorrow, guys, try to get outside, try to play a little bit, have some fun, read some books. Most importantly, stay healthy, stay happy, and Alane will be back tomorrow, all right? See you guys. Alane out.